What's up everybody, it's CJ and I'm back with another Pleasantville renovation video. So today we're going to be tackling 170 Main Street, which is Nina and Dena Caliente's house. And y'all, this house is bad. I mean, let's be fair. A lot of EA houses are bad, but this one is up there with some of the ones I hate the most. I don't understand this house because, like, this is supposed to be a house for two hot babes, okay? They debuted in The Sims 2. This house should be the best one, or, like, the one that gives off the most personality with them. I was saying this the other day, but I really feel like The Sims 3 did towny houses so much better. If you look at a lot of the pre-made houses, they are bad, but they have a lot more personality. Some of the ones in The Sims 2, I guess, kind of do, but this one is not. And this is a base game family. It is bad, y'all. Like, look at this house and tell me that you can see two hot babes living here. I mean, maybe, but I could not tell you that. This looks like someone's grandpa's house, you know, or like this looks like a house that someone moved out of and they just left all their furniture here. That's kind of what it's giving. So I had to go in, y'all, and I changed a lot. And I kind of wanted to make this house Y2K inspired. I haven't really done a Y2K inspired build in a really long time. So this was a good chance to bring it back. Also, I was trying to figure out how to close off this floor plan because it's too big. There's like too much space in here. So what I decided to do was like build a wall right here, and I made one side a home gym and the other side into a downstairs bathroom. So the house is a 2-bedroom. Now it's a 2-bathroom house. At first it just had one, you know, but I thought it made more sense to have like the exercising machine in a room versus having it just out in the living room, you know. Now you may not like the style of this house. Now, I think it's a lot to take in, you know, like I kind of went a little bit overboard with the colors, the patterns, all that good stuff. So this may not be your favorite house, and that's okay. You can always download it and change it or bulldoze it and just rebuild it if you want to, but I am content, okay? I don't know if I can say this is my favorite ever house I've ever furnished, but I'm content with it, okay? I'm not gonna lie to y'all. It took me a lot of hours to work on this house, okay? It may not look like it in the video because I speed the footage up, you know? But y'all, this was, I think I had like maybe an hour or close to an hour of footage. Maybe like 50-ish minutes or so. It took me a while, okay? But we start off in the living room, so I'm using the chairs from the Generations pack. The bookshelf, I believe, is from the Into the Future pack. The TV is from Late Night. I was trying to use a lot of objects that I don't really use that much, and also objects that kind of just gave off that Y2K energy, you know? To me, this house kind of looks like a TV house, or like a movie house, you know, or maybe you could see a house like this in real life, but I don't think the average person's house would look like this. That's, you know, maybe that's just me though. But it kind of give off like TV or sitcom house, you know? So I really kind of wanted to go like a little bit dramatic, a little bit overboard. There's a lot of pastels in here, a lot of blues, cyans, purples, greens. Upstairs is a lot to take in as well. But down here though, I was just trying to figure out where to place everything. They have an urn in their house, and I don't know if this is their parent or who this is supposed to be, but I decided to keep it and I just put it on a shelf and I put it over the computer desk just so it could stay here, you know, for the lore and all that. The computer desk is also from the Into the Future pack. The computer is from University, I believe. I really like this computer desk because it kind of gives off that Y2K energy for me. I had to put a lot of patterns on stuff, y'all. Like I kind of went overboard with things, you know. I'm also using this mirror from Showtime. I never really used this. Like I said, y'all, this was a good opportunity for me to use things I never really used before. I also used a lot of the tool mod. So sometimes y'all will ask me like, hey CJ, how do you lower or raise up a curtain or a blind? Like, you can't normally do that in the game. It's a mod called the Sims 3 tool mod. I'll leave it linked down below. I've also done a video tutorial on how to use it, but yeah, it's the tool mod. If you ever wonder like how I can raise or lower the curtains and stuff like that, it's with the tool mod. You don't need to have the mod installed to download this. You don't have to, but that's basically like what it is. Now we move on, y'all, to the dining room, and I'm gonna be honest, y'all, I struggle, I think, the most with this room. You'll see the colors change a whole lot. This is one of those times when I have to pause the recording. Like, a lot of times you don't really see this in my videos because I always edit it out, but sometimes, y'all, I have to pause my recordings when I'm doing build videos, and I just have to look at things for a while and, like, just see, like, okay, does this look good? Does this not look good? If I do it too much in the video, I feel like people are gonna be like, CJ, just pick something. And this is, like, one of those times it's like, CJ, just pause it, you know? Like, if this was a live stream, if you ever want to see me build in real time, just check out one of my live streams. I have a second YouTube channel. I'll leave a link to it down below. Recently, I did a build for the Businesses and Hobbies expansion pack for The Sims 4. I ran a petting zoo, so I can leave that video link down below if you want to watch it. Like, it was like a 4-hour stream, and I was like so indecisive. Like, I'm telling y'all, building is a process, okay? Like, it looks all nice when it's in a video because it's sped up and edited out, but it's a process, okay? In here, though, I decided to use the table from the Showtime pack. Again, it kind of has that nice Y2K energy. I'm also using the chairs from the Into the Future pack as well. That big rose wall sculpture thing is also from Showtime, and I never use it for anything, so I wanted to use that in here. I also wanted to have an accent wall in here, too, so I used, like, wood paneling, but I moved it from this wall to the wall over here with the curtains and blinds and stuff. It does look a little bit rough right now, but eventually it will start to come together. I also put a room divider in here too. I put a drink rack in here as well because I wanted to kind of like give them things that would kind of be useful for them. Like, they're young adults, right? So I was like, you know, maybe they have a drink rack, maybe they have a bar in the kitchen. There is a bar upstairs on the rooftop, but I replaced it with another one. But for this house, I was really just trying to play into that Y2K energy and also just try to like make the house look nice and give it a lot of personality. Something that the original house was very much lacking. Alright, so now we move on to the kitchen. The kitchen was also a work in progress. I struggled a lot with the color of the tile on the floor. I didn't really want both the dining room and the kitchen to have the same tile, you know? I wanted to kind of break it up a little bit. And then I also struggled with the countertop placement. So I'm using these counters from the base game. These are like, I don't know if they're the most expensive ones or some of the most expensive ones in the base game. They kind of have a more modern vibe to them, and I really wanted to use those in here because they kind of also give off that Y2K energy to me. So I used those in here. I also put a couple of island counters in here too. I just put two just, you know, for Nina and Dena. But if, say, like, for example, they have company or whatever, I gave them like an actual dining room. So there's a lot of space for a lot of Sims to sit down and eat, you know? I was also trying to figure out if I wanted to put island cabinets above the island counters. You'll see it for a split second, but it did not look good at all. So I was like, no, let's just not. I was like, that's a little bit too much for a space like this. So I did get rid of them. But I feel like in real life, you would probably have some like that, you know? But for here, I was just like, nah. I also put a circular rug down here just to fill in some space. I'm using a nicer stove, the same fridge, but I just recolored it. And then I was trying to figure out like what to give them. So I gave them a snow cone machine because I was like, that's kind of fun, right? Like having a snow cone machine. So I gave them one of those. I also gave them a coffee machine. I was going to give them a microwave, but then I was like, I don't really like that much. So the original house does have a coffee machine, so I was like, let's just bring it back, you know? And then I also put a bar. So I'm using the bar from the Showtime pack. I used it down here in the kitchen, and I also used it upstairs on the rooftop. You know, I can imagine them wanting to have a drink every once in a while, you know? And the cool thing about bars is that you can, like, have them be up against a wall like this, and they still work. So you can still use it. So that's something that I really like. I didn't have a lot of space in here to put bar stools, you know, in front of it, so it's kind of good that you can still use it with it turned around. Yeah, and this is, like, the drink rack that I was telling y'all about. And then I kind of finished off the room by putting an accent wall. So I used like a brick accent wall on the left, and I also put a little bamboo plant. And then now we move on to the bathroom. So I kind of just wanted to have a bathroom down here just for the guest, you know, because like the bathroom upstairs is huge. And the way that the house is upstairs, it's like a Jack and Jill. So like both bedrooms share a bathroom. So I knew that one was going to be like really, really nice. But I kind of just wanted something a little bit more practical, kind of easy access down here. I would imagine that, you know, like if one of the twins are downstairs working out, maybe they can just go right here to shower and they don't have to go all the way upstairs and stuff. So for the bathroom, I'm just using like a base game. I think that's a base game toilet. The shower, I believe, is from Into the Future. And then right now we move on to the home gym, which in here, I just wanted to have a space for the weight machine, but I also kind of cluttered it up a little bit. So I'm using a lot of the objects from the Town Life stuff pack. And then I also use a pull-up bar from Showtime just to kind of fit one more workout equipment in here. So technically both of the twins can work out, which is kind of nice, right? I just kind of wish that this room was a little bit bigger, but I didn't really want to change the shape of the house that much, but I kind of wish it was a little bit bigger so I could kind of rotate the weight machine the opposite way. But, you know, it's okay. And now we move on to the upstairs. And I gotta say, y'all, the bedrooms are some of my favorites, I would say. The bedroom and the upstairs bathroom. I think it's like my favorite part of the house. So I start over here in Dena's room. Now, her original room was like this blue and like brown color scheme. Again, y'all, it's not giving hot babe. Like, 'cause I feel like some of the later Sims 2 houses are better, but the ones in the base game leave a lot to be desired. Like if I didn't know this was their house, y'all, I would not be able to know that this was their bedroom. So for Dena's room, I went with a blue color scheme. I was gonna use the heart-shaped bed in both of the bedrooms, but then I was like, maybe that's a little bit too redundant. You know, I'll give Nina the heart-shaped bed, and then I'll give Dena the bed from the late night pack. It is kind of weird too how Dena has the smallest room. So, like, I have to ask y'all because I can't remember. Is Nina the oldest one and Dena the youngest one? Like, do we know this, or has it just never been stated? Because, like, I would imagine maybe the older sibling getting the bigger room, but even so, this room is, like, so small. Like, I don't know why, but it's kind of giving, like, they built the house first and needed a place for Sims to stay, and they were like, oh, we have these twins, let's just plop them down in this house. That's kind of what it's giving, low-key, because, like, why is her room so small? Like, yes, she has access to a balcony, which is nice, but, like, I don't think that kind of makes up for having such a small room, right? I don't know, maybe that's just me. But for her room, I gave her a vanity. I also gave her, like, a little MP3 player. We have this chair from the Diesel stuff pack, and then I wanted to kind of recolor it a little bit, so I made it pink with butterflies on it. We have a nice cloudy design bed sheet. The bookshelf that she has is also from the Into the Future pack. I gave her a little end table, and then I was trying to figure out, like, what else I could put in here, and I realized that she has, like, 1 or 2 points of the creativity skill, so I ended up giving her an art easel in here too. Maybe she's just getting started in her art journey, you know? So I did give her an art easel in here. I later went back and gave her a mannequin too, just for some extra decor. And that's pretty much it for the inside of her bedroom. There wasn't that much I could really do because, you know, it isn't really that big. But I did give her some nice curtains in here as well and some art on the wall. But I think her bedroom looks really nice, you know? So now we move on to her balcony. There are a couple of chairs out here, but those those chairs are so sad, y'all. So I gave her a couch from the Showtime pack, and I gave her another one of those chairs from Diesel stuff. And I kind of feel like maybe if she has company over, maybe they can come like hang out over here on the rooftop. Maybe her and her sister come out here sometime to chill out. I was trying to find a wall light to put out here, so I ended up using the ones from the Showtime pack just to kind of illuminate the area a little bit. And then I did also put a rug down here as well, just to kind of like help fill in some space. And then I also gave her a plant. I think it's like one of the plants from the base game, just to have like a plant in the corner. But that's pretty much it for her balcony. There wasn't a lot of space here. I would have loved to put like a planter box, but I was like, maybe not. They also have like an upstairs rooftop area, so I didn't really have to put that much, you know. But now we move on to Nina's room, and y'all, this room is so big. Like, I don't understand it. These houses, a lot of these houses, y'all, are just so weird. Like, I don't get it. But like I said, she had a lot of space in her room, so I did end up closing it off. I gave her like a walk-in closet, and the color scheme for her room is red, purple, and yellow, which are some very interesting colors to put together. I was kind of inspired by that design of the bed sheet, so I was like, why don't I just kind of play into that? So her bedroom, I think, might be my favorite one. Like, I don't know. It's so weird, but it's probably my favorite one. I just think it looks so interesting, you know? Like, this is kind of out of my comfort zone, really, but it just looks interesting in a good way. Like, I don't know. Y'all have to let me know what you think down below with this build. I really liked it. Like I said, I gave her the heart-shaped bed. We have a couple of those base game end tables. The painting above her bed is from the 70s, 80s, and 90s stuff pack. And then her vanity is from Showtime, I believe. Like I said, I gave her like a walk-in closet space. So I'm using the archway. I believe that is from Island Paradise, maybe, or Showtime. I can't remember. And then inside of her walk-in closet, I gave her those like shoe display things. We have a clothes rack in there as well. I gave her a mannequin. I used another one of those Showtime chairs in here, and I believe that lamp is also from Showtime. Honestly, y'all, Showtime really came through with this build. Like, it came, I used this pack a lot. And then to kind of finish off her walk-in closet, I gave her a couple of wall lights just to kind of like help fill in the space a little bit. And then now we move on to the bathroom upstairs, and y'all, this bathroom is massive. So I knew for a fact, since this bathroom was so big, I wanted to use the angled tub from the high-end loft stuff. So, you know, I had to put that in here, which it really helped a lot because it helped fill in a lot of space. I'm also using some more of those countertops from the kitchen. I didn't realize at first that the counter on the right, on the far right, is kind of clipping with a door. I was up here building with move objects turned on, so I was like, that shouldn't work. So I tested it with move objects turned off and it didn't work, so I did get rid of it. And I also used that really big seamless mirror from the base game as the bathroom mirror. I also put a base game rug down here. I put that nice toilet from the base game in here. And all, I really like the use of space in the bathroom. It's big, but the big furniture helps fill in the area, which is, you know, which is something that's really cool. I gave them a towel rack up here too. I gave them toilet paper, some nice fancy wall lights in here, but that's pretty much it for the bathroom, you know? And then last but not least, we go upstairs to the rooftop. Now, I didn't really want to put too much up here because I just don't like the way rooftops look from the outside of the house. So I didn't really want to put too much up here. So I gave them a bar because they had a bar at first. I'm replacing the base game plants with some of the ones from the outdoor living stuff pack, and then I replaced their lounge chairs with these from the 70s, 80s, and 90s pack. I also gave them a couple of couches on the other side of this railing, just in case they want to sit down and have company up here. I gave them like a little end table, and I put some lemonade up there. So if you didn't know, where they're chilling right here, Don Lothario's house next door, he has a telescope, so he can literally see them over here when they're chilling up here, which is kind of crazy when you think about. But yeah. And then now I'm just doing a little bit of landscaping, so I'm using some more of those palm trees from the base game. I didn't really go overboard with the landscaping this time, just a couple of shrubs, and I'm using one of those hedge fences down here as well. But in all, that's pretty much it, y'all, for the entire build. So if you did enjoy it, please be sure to leave a like, comment something down below, follow me over on Twitch because I stream a lot of The Sims, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye! Thanks for watching!